let's talk about career.
Yeah.
Conservation biology as a career. So you are specifically studying animal adaptation on anthropogenic habitat. So what are the branches in conservation biology that you see as a like very exciting opportunities?
It's not just limited to the conservation. You know, you can actually get into a broad range of things. Like, so you can just do field biology if you're very just interested in understanding the mechanisms of, you know, how things work in the wild. You know, how does the biology work of the species? How is the behavior? You can just do that. If you're interested in journalism, environmental journalism, you can do. You can actually go to places, you know, where there are not just conflicts, but there are a lot of issues of wildlife, you know. So just to give you examples, like in Rajasthan and Gujarat, there is this bird called great Indian bustard. Okay, and it is declining, you know, it is declining rapidly because of wind turbines. There are a lot of wind turbines, and also problem with dogs. Dogs are actually, feral dogs are feeding, they're actually consuming the eggs. They're attacking the nests of these birds.
So they lay nest in the
in the plains.
Ground.
Yes, because those regions are plains, the grasslands, right? So their population are declining for that. So, and then there are issues with like river systems, or, you know, so if people are interested in, you know, just writing about it and create impact, you know, from the ground, they can do that. And then there's also policy. If you're interested in like policy analyst or policy advocates, you can probably obviously have an understanding of, you know, what is the current status of ecological forest in India, and then take up policy in your, you know, for your masters or something like that. There's a lot of scope for, you know, environmental journalism, you know, if you're interested in that. Yeah, and then just, you know, doing research and scientists, and these are what on the top of my head. Yeah.
What is the most rewarding part of your job?
See, you know, it's this constant humility, you know, like I'm out there in the field and I observe not just primates. Okay, so for me, this is especially for me, when I'm there in the forest, I'm observing, you know, I'm observing the trees. I'm observing, you know, the, you know, different birds, the, you know, the fruits, that, you know, the, everything that the primate encounters, everything the primate interacts with, right? So it's a very broad perspective. I'm not just looking at behavior, you know, and that kind of makes me feel so grounded, you know, like, and that there is so much more to learn. There is so much more there to see. And, you know, we humans feel that we're so stuck up, you know, we think we know everything, you know, we know, and that we are so great, that we have this power that we can actually control other beings, right? But, you know, this is the humility. This is what I realize every time I'm out there, that it is actually the system, you know, the forest system that control, I mean, that actually governs everything, you know, and all the answer is out there, you know, like you were talking about biomimicry, you know, I think this is way earlier when you told me about it. And I was thinking, you know, we have a lot of answers. Engineering problems can be, you know, can be solved looking at nature, right? And not just that, like, you know, if we just try to understand the mechanism of nature, we can solve so many problems, right? So it is that humility that, you know, that keeps me moving forward. And I think that is a good realization for me. Like, that's like an everyday thing for me, you know?
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what would be your most, you know, frustrating or challenging part of your job?
There's a lot of challenge.
I can guess, dealing with humans.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So, like, you know, because I have to go to forest, okay, and I need first, so there's going to be issues like with permits. In India, getting permits is a big problem.
Okay.
Right? So
what do you have to do to get the permit to enter the wildlife corridor?
You have to give an application, what you're doing, give a proposal of your project.
To which, or you have to submit in the website?
Okay. Yeah, to the forest department. They have online applications. Okay. So you have to fill all of that, and that will take 3 months time for them to process.
For the approval?
Yes.
Oh God, okay.
And with me, it's even more problematic now. Why? Because I'm affiliated with a foreign university. So now I need clearance from the central government.
That's the frustrating part of your job.
Yeah.
The applications.
Initial. So for forest permits in India, it takes time, 3 months. And after that, and then just field condition challenges, you know, like there are a lot of uncertainties. Like there's, weather conditions and then terrain. Forest is, it's forest, right? The terrain is undulating and there's a lot of, difficulties, challenges with that. And, excuse me, So, collecting behavioral data, it's challenging. Because,
patience.
Especially, a lot of patience, and primates are high up in the trees, and you have to follow them. Yes, so that way, those challenges,
Okay, if somebody is taking a career in conservation biology, what it takes to be a great conservation biologist, and you can also state the challenges and the opportunities who is taking up the career in conservation biology.
I think so. It would be good to have at least a basic degree in in biology or zoology or wildlife if you can.
Is it necessary?
No, not for everyone. Sometimes if you're so passionate about it, you can actually go through a different channel.
From photography to conservation biology?
Yeah, you can possibly. You have to really put in the hard work.
But you should be grounded with the basics of zoology.
Yes. So at least maybe a bachelor's, or if not also, it's good. I mean, it's fine. It can work actually, because I know people who don't even have a bachelor's in wildlife and, who are actually good at, this, that's why I mentioned about environmental journalism, right?
Yes.
So these people, they're able to actually write good impact stories of conservation issues that happen on the ground, and all you have to do is just be able to write,
good
articulate, articulate the problem well and write it, and that's an impactful story, and that way if you keep doing that, you're building up a good credibility, to work in conservation science. But then you can also do policy if you're interested in policy, because policy also you can make huge changes, right? Make
it influences the government's decision.
Exactly, for the better of the forest, the local communities, and all of that. But if you want to go the usual pathway would be to get a bachelor's, or if you want a master's. If not, also it's okay. And then maybe work in some projects. There are so many NGOs in India. Just to name a few.
List 5 NGOs in India.
Okay, so ATREE, it's Ashoka Trust for Research in Ecology and Environmental Sciences.
Where is it based?
It's in Bangalore.
Okay.
And then there is WCS.
What do they do, the first ones?
ATREE. So they work extensively across India on everything from wildlife. There is sustainability, conservation, social, sociology related. Like they're very interdisciplinary approach to conservation and conservation sciences. So there are many people working in. So there are people with backgrounds in sociology, but they're working, in that conservation, because they bring in the knowledge from sociology to try to work at grassroots level.
Educating people.
Yes. Trying to understand and try to come up with ground, solutions from the ground, from the base. Right? And then entomology, there is primatology. So ATREE is doing very good work, and they're also working with forest systems. So this project that I was in, KMTR, they're actually working on long-term ecological monitoring of the forests.
Okay, how long the project is?
For 30 years, and it's still going on.
Wow!
And they're looking at how climate change, like temperature, all of that is affecting the phenology. Phenology is
the property of trees.
Yes, you got it right. The times at which it leaves, and then leaves will shed. Right, some deciduous trees the leaves will fall, and then the flowering. When does it flower? When does it fruit? This is the phenological state, right? So they've been monitoring every month for the past 30 years.
Wow.
So they've been doing, So this is very important.
This is one. Which is the second?
Next is WCS, Wildlife Conservation Society. That's also, I think, based in Bangalore. WCS works in. They work on, I think, a range of topics with wildlife.
Okay.
And there is CWS, Center for Wildlife Studies. That's also based in Bangalore. And Dr. Ullas Karant, Dr. Kriti Karant, who have worked with tiger, and they're working with human-tiger conflict, coexistence and all of that. They are based from CWS. In fact, Dr. Ullas Karant, he founded CWS. That's 3. And then there is NCBS. So NCBS is it's a National Center for Biological Sciences.
But they are open for internship programs?
Yeah. So
Okay.
internships, it's a thing, I'll tell you. Anyone who's interested to work, just mail people.
Okay.
You know, mail the professors. Look up their profile, just see what they're doing. If that, you know, interests your, you know, it aligns with your interest, then you should definitely mail them. Yeah. So that's one. And then, I'm not getting a lot of names, but there are many actually.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, I could give you a list
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Yes.
So it means being a good orator, like, and having great patience,
Yeah.
and collaborating and having good
Yes.
practical
Yes. Oh, I didn't even talk about the
collaboration
Yeah.
part.
So just to be able to, you know, have an open mind, you know, should have an open mind and not think that, oh, what I'm doing is the right way. No. You always get different perspectives from different fields.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, because conservation science is very interdisciplinary, very multidisciplinary. It's ecology, there is social sciences, there's economics and policy and everything.
Yeah,
right? So,
everything. Yeah.
So
open-minded, collaborative,
Yeah.
patience,
yeah.
and
And just
active,
have the passion for it. Yeah. If it really, because this is not a easy job. It's not. It's definitely not an easy job. You know, to be in the field. If you really want to be in the field, so that's the thing. If you want to be in the field and work, then your field, you know, you become a field biologist. Even people who are writing, you know, even writing, right? They have to actually go on ground and see. Right. So you have to have that patience and willing to listen to stories, not just your stories. You know, you're actually listening to people, listening to their concerns. Right. Yeah. So.